What's up? What's up? What's up? I had to get my hype on when I'm coming on Wednesday night, cause midweek be a mother hubber for show. But anyway, I am here. My name is Lee Black. I am the host of Real Talk for Real Men. Welcome to the Wednesday edition, folks out there. Hopefully you're having a good week. I got my drink going on because I'm in that kind of a zone tonight. We're gonna have us a good show. We are on TFG platform of networks of shows. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. We are under the category of ratchet and uncut, because that's how we get down on this junk. So if you're first time here or you're a new visitor, on Wednesdays we try to keep it a little bit more serious, but we still gonna be ourselves. So let me bring in my co-host from Memphis. This is Mick Mac. Tasha, what's going on?
Oh, not much. I'm not as hype as you are on this Wednesday.
I'm trying to tell you, I got to get there, baby. You know what I'm saying? I like when I get to my hump day part of the week because I know I'm almost there. So I got my drink and I'm
Mhm.
going to get into my zone. How are you?
I'm here. I'm here. It's been a rough start.
I can appreciate that. Well, baby, hopefully, as we get into the conversation, it'll bring some clarity, some peace, and a little bit of cathartic nature to your week. And we'll be able to wrap it up strong because it's always good to see each other. And so I'm glad to see you. I love you. Glad you're here. I see I got my brother waiting for me in the wings from North Carolina, sipping on his drink. Mr. Burt, what's going on, my brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
Man, we are doing all right, my brother. We doing okay. How are you and the missus doing, sir?
I'm doing good. The missus is doing good, but she's not feeling too well, so she does send her love to everybody. She says she wish she could be on here.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's that time of year. I'm actually fighting off the flu myself. Most of the people I work with are dealing with some kind of. It's just that time of year. We always think about COVID, but we in the full throes of flu season, and flu kill more people than anybody else. So, believe it or not, folks, I'm aching, throat is scratchy, got a headache, but it's not gonna stop me from drinking and talking shit with you guys. So, I'm
Yes,
here.
sir.
So we're going to get this thing popping. One of my other brothers, he's not going to be on tonight. He says he's watching. You all know Brother Kenny, so he won't be on tonight. And my sis Sherry, I don't know if she's going to make it on, but we are going to be having I think, an important conversation tonight. One that Tasha and I realized that we've actually never had a conversation about friendship. Our focus, as always, is about men and women and relations between each other. And we've kind of talked around it here and there. We've even had real life situations play out, in on the show, but we've never really exclusively talked about friendship. And a lot of times people wonder how we come up with our topics. Tasha, I'll let you kind of go into why we thought it was important to have this topic, and because this came from the mind of Mick Mac, just in case you guys didn't know.
Yeah, so I know that we've probably been seeing, like, for a lot of people, some of those stories have been going viral where Shanquilla Robinson and the trip that she took with her so-called friends. There was another young lady who went out on a trip with friends supposedly, and she ended up dying as well. And then, of course, all the different viral videos of people and the scenarios where they've been out on trips, whether it's girls trips or whatever. They're arguing, fussing, and fighting and carry on amongst each other. And and I just think that it's an important conversation that should be had, because we evaluate all the friendships, but friendships is a good part of it. Even with a lot of relationships, they're based on friendship. So
Absolutely. And I always like to tell people, as we got sis Sherry popping in from New York. What's going on, sis? Sis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you, sis.
I think she's muted. Is she muted?
Wait. Can
Okay.
y'all
Yeah,
hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sis, how
Hi
you doing?
everybody.
Hey.
What's going on, Sherry?
Yeah, so anyway, so Sherry, you popped in right on time. Hopefully doing good, sis. And so, as I always say, believe it or not, friendships have an expiration date. When we're young, we tend to think of friends for life. When we change jobs, when we move, we say, "Oh, I'm gonna keep in contact," blah 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 blah. Sometimes life gets in the way, And believe it or not, friendships sometimes run their course. You know, also friendships play, in I think, an integral role in our lives because for some of us, our friends become just as valuable, if not more, than blood siblings. You know, I even have a saying that my family know. I say all the time that just because you're family doesn't mean you have to be friends. We don't get to pick our family, but we don't have to be friends with them. We have to we're obligated to love each other, you know. And so, but sometimes if we're going to be brutally honest, we even have family members that if not for blood, we wouldn't fuck with them. We wouldn't hang with them. You know what I'm saying? But we love them because they're blood and their family. And so we're going to be evaluating the health of friendships. And even in relationships, we like to, in an ideal situation, we hope that our mate is our best friend. That's when it's great. And so, so we're going to talk about what friendship looks like in all its forms tonight. And I just hope everybody do a little self introspection and inspect the people in your sphere that you call friends. And even on this social media platform, how many of us out there right now, if we looked in our Facebook or Instagram, we got 1,000 friends. Really? You know? And so we take that word for granted and we use it far too often. And so tonight, I hope we kind of really dig into what is a friend and start to evaluate what that looks like. Because I have done an exercise. I've been doing this for probably 15 years. Brother Kenny says he's good evening. He's watching. He's had a long day. Appreciate you, my brother.
Brother.
Sister Hannah, hope you feel better, sweetheart. Thanks for watching as well. I clean house. As I go into my new year, I shed weight. You know, just like you do spring cleaning. Whenever I'm ending my year, I've been doing something for at least 15 years. I go to my phone and I start deleting numbers of people that I just don't want to carry into the next year. You know, and it's not always people that I've fallen out with. You know how during the course of a year you accumulate numbers from all kinds of places. You know, a contact here, a plug there for whatever the fuck you do. You know, you know, and so you look back and like, who is this? And so I start to shed. You know, I even go through my text messaging and clear a lot of space in my phone for shit that don't even matter anymore. So we're going to talk about friendships, but before we get into it, because we're going to examine 7 areas of friendships, what do you guys think about just even the idea of putting friendships under the microscope? Anybody?
To me, I will say this, I'm going into it with not only how our friends, like how I would evaluate my outward friendships, but what type of friend am I? Like, am I
Ooh,
meeting, like the criteria in which I'm, requesting and what I want in a
I
friend?
love that, Tasha, because Tasha says all the time that people actually don't know how to really be a friend. A lot of people don't know how, and we take that term so lightly. Sherry, Bert, what do you think about evaluating friendships?
Yeah, I mean, I'll piggyback off of what Tasha was saying. Like sometimes it's like a self evaluation moment for me, and a mirror moment for me. I know what I would like to expect from a friend, but a lot of times I put myself under the microscope and make sure that I'm fulfilling at least my end of the bargain as well. So this is going to be something good for me as well.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. And that's why I do. I hope we get something out of it. As always, I saw the topic. I found an article. I didn't go into depth because I wanted to be new for me as well. Sis, what do you think about putting friendships under the microscope?
I agree with Tasha because I always say in order to have a friend, you got to be a friend,
That's right.
and I don't use that word loosely. I say this is my associate. You know,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I have a
Well,
quick question. Does anybody on here right now think that they've been the best friend that they could to everyone, or is there a relationship where you can say I was a shitty friend?
I
Just
can
before we start,
I can say, I mean, to be truthful, because I'm always rough on myself. I think I could always do better as far as like just reaching out and just randomly reaching out. Because a lot of times I have a lot of people on my mind, but then I don't reach out and say anything to
Right,
them, or at least say, hey, what's going on? Anything all right with you?
right.
So yeah.
Okay, sis, answer that question. Tasha asked, and we can only see the top of your head and a little bit of smoke, just so you know.
Wait. Um, yeah, no, Tasha. I think I've been a pretty good friend to most of my, people. You know what I'm saying? But I had a lot of bad experiences. So I don't really carry friends like that.
Okay, and Tasha, I'll answer that. When I look back in totality, if I say I was your friend, I was a real friend. I was a real friend. That's not to say there weren't disagreements or things like that, but the moment that I could classify that, we're friends, in many cases, I believe that I've been the better friend to most other people than they've been to me in many cases. A- and I'll get into a little bit more of that as I explain that, because sometimes I think I've given and not gotten enough. What do you say for you when you evaluate yourself?
I can't agree more. I do think that I have always been just a better friend to my detriment,
Thank you.
where I get burned in the end by trying to do too much for someone. That's what I would say. But I do think that I'm a really good friend.
And I love that. And that's a great question. And I and you and as we go through this, I hope we evaluate it even more, because we might feel different by the time we get to the end. How you doing, Shantae? How you doing, sweetheart? Thanks for joining. You know, and I know this is the type of show too. As we get into it, not everybody tune in initially, because we're not talking some. People like to hear a lot of fuckery and foolishness, but sometimes you got to sit still and have a real conversation, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So if you're joining us, we're talking about friendships. We're evaluating friendships, and I found a really good article with 7 steps that we're going to put it under the microscope as we look at and evaluate friendship. And so let's jump into this thing. And the first, and all of these are a doozy, just to be honest. The first thing that jump out: do they invest as much time as I do in the friendship? And I'm going to read a little bit to this. It says, one of the key questions to ask yourself when evaluating a friendship is the amount of time both of you invest in each other. Sometimes one of you will invest more than the other, causing an imbalance in the quality of the relationship. It's not essential that you see your friends or speak to them on a daily basis, but putting in the time fairly often is important for growth. If you are always the one to make plans and to reach out first, it might be time to ask some questions. So, right with being touched to the question you asked about the amount of time that's invested, and I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first because this one for me, just even as I read that, Tasha knows this about me. When I moved here to Atlanta, I had to shed some friendships for my own sanity and peace of mind. There were friendships where I was the psychiatrist, if you will. You ever have people who, when they call you, visit you, whatever, it's always about them and their problems. Even if you interject and you going through some shit, you can even say, oh man, shit, I'm dealing with the flu. Yeah, I know what you mean, because I've been sick and I've been blah, 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 blah. Yeah, my mom, dealing with her. The same thing happened to me. So what I did with my mom, blah, 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 blah. Oh, can you fix me? And I looked up at one point, and the amount of time that I was spending fixing other friends' issues and their problems, the imbalance was unreal. And I had to take that time back for myself. So this one for me, time is truly valuable to me, even more so now. 20 years ago, when I could stay up and only get by on 4 hours of sleep, and you know I had more life behind me than in front of me, and you feeling invincible. But now I just don't have the time to invest. My time is so valuable to me. What do you guys think about this?
Well, me personally, I only have one friend that I call a true friend, and we invest pretty much evenly, you know, with each other. Our time that we put in with each other.
I'm gonna challenge that. You know, would you consider me a friend?
Would I consider you a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might have missed the first part where I said just because you're family, you don't have to be friends. And that's because you're my sister, but I also consider you a friend. And the reason why I asked that, what is it, friend, that we do pretty much on a nightly basis?
We get on the phone and talk on three-way with my daughter and catch up and see how each other is doing, and check on each other all the time to see how our health and everything else is going.
This is a nightly thing. Does that take a lot of time?
Yeah, it takes
Yes, it does.
I want to put that time in to see how my brother is doing, but I
Yes,
can't say I do that with all the brothers.
so that's why I want you, when you just said you only have one friend, you have more than one friend. I'm your friend.
Well, yeah,
I'm your
you
friend.
know,
And
I,
you might have a few more. Your daughter's your friend. But we're going to talk about that dynamic too. But Bert, Tasha, what do you think about the dynamic of and how much time you invest? And has there been an imbalance?
I definitely think that it's important, like as far as having balance there. But this one's tricky for me because, as you know, I am a sensitive thug. For me, if I feel like I've reached out one, two times, I'm gonna stop because then I'm gonna feel like, okay, I must be bothering them, or I don't want to feel like that. If you do in turn call me back, it's out of obligation, not because you really, really wanted to know that you really, really, really wanted to talk to me. So that one is one that I'm like, okay, like it just depends on the person. So
You bring up a really important question on ask. What's appropriate amount of time then do you reach out to someone that doesn't return that? And I mean specifically, what's your protocol for inviting somebody to visit you, to come hang out with you? Hey, call me sometime. Hey, holler at me sometime. What's your limit? So, Tasha,
like how many times you could
yeah,
like
or just like for
default on it?
you, yeah.
Oh, okay. So okay, we could, I would say maybe twice.
Okay,
Maybe twice. The first time I understand. The second time I'm gonna be like, okay. The third time it's gonna hurt my feelings, and I'm gonna be like, okay, they obviously don't have time.
okay,
So I'm just
okay.
gonna stop.
What about you, Bert?
Yeah, that's me. Twice, because I was thinking about that. Listen, after the second time, then I'm out the game. Balance, that balance and that time is necessary, but a lot of times it depends on how the way you are. Because some people
Okay,
could be a little bit introverted, so that's just how the way they are. They don't mean to be that way.
right,
So it all depends on your mind frame and the other person's mind frame and how the way you guys mesh together. Because
right,
they might not be doing that. They might not be doing that on purpose, but definitely it's good to spend some sort of time. If that's a person that you really care about, you care about their well being and the whole nine, then yeah, you definitely would have to put that time in. And I'm kind of like you guys, like I'm more like with my brothers, so they're more like my best friends to me
right,
than anything else.
right, right. I love that. Ooh, Tasha, I've been guilty of putting too much in, waiting too long, giving too many chances. I have a tendency, I think, to make excuses for people. I know, and I see you not, because you know. Sometimes the writing is on the wall, and I still make excuses for people. Oh well, you know, maybe they were busy. blah blah blah. And Tasha's like she is a sister son, like fuck that black, blah blah blah. You
Cut
know,
your mom.
right?
All right.
But
I'm cutting you off
I
quick.
have had the tendency to, I'm a I'm gotten better and I'm getting better in reading the tea leaves that, you know, and what's crazy that we're having this conversation, this is going to go out to some of my viewers here that we're saying this. I've read the tea leaves and I get it. And I get it. You know how we get to the holiday season and normally out of tradition, some sense of obligation or just whatever, you send out the Happy New Year, whatnot. I didn't do that this year.
Mm.
I didn't do that this year. If I fuck with you, I talked to you. I want a lot of people to think about that.
And something that you say that I want you to stop saying this. Stop saying and enough time has passed and for you to be like, okay, well, we just gonna let it go. No, stop doing that.
I
Sometimes you just cut it.
no. I'm telling you, I've had to learn that as a hard lesson. And that's why this past holiday season, for some of my viewers who watch this show, if I did not call you, I don't fuck with you like that no more. You have now crossed over into the associate zone. Nothing but love. But this is why I'm doing this show. Because time, it was so much of an imbalance. Or I have perennial friends who
Mm.
only reach out that once or twice of the year when it's a holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Christmas. I don't hear from you no more. I've been living in Atlanta for going on 7 years. I've got friends that have never come to visit me. They've been coming to visit for 7, 10 years. I read the tea leaves. I understand. God bless you.
You getting all the phone calls after this show.
Hey, Black, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
As far as like with the friend, are the ones that not the perennial ones, but the other ones? I mean, are they the ones that you tried to reach out to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. That's why this is very personal to me. I've had housewarmings and I've had people never been to my home that say they my friend. I've had events. I started out by saying some people we work with, we've fallen into a different category. That don't mean I dislike you. That just means I've read the tea leaves. I'm gonna stop saying, well, that's my friend. I'll say I know that person. They're associate, they're former coworker or whatever. But I am going to shed a lot of weight. I'm on a mission in 2023 to reinvent different parts of me. And if I'm going to work on my physical and my spiritual, and those are intensely personal things, well, I might as well work on my emotional, as well. And for my emotional well-being, I got to shed some dead weight. So this is not to be offensive, but I'm so dead serious. And that's not to say I called every single person. Honey, Bert, you and Honey, you guys were busy. I love y'all. I consider y'all friends. I knew y'all were busy. We had texted each other, hey, bro, I'm not going to be on the show, blah, blah, blah. I fucks with y'all. There were some people that I never heard from during the holiday. I read the tea leaves. And then there were ones who only reached out during the holidays, family and friends. I don't fuck with you. And they don't, let me stop even saying that way. You don't fuck with me that way either. So let's be clear. All right.
Okay.
So let's go on to number 2. As we evaluate friendship, we keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
Is it easy or difficult to connect when you're together? Some people are just naturally easy to talk to and get along with, and are gifted with the ability to put people at ease. Meaningful relationships should have this quality, despite personality differences. There's a big issue with not being able to connect with friends and having awkwardness in the air because it generally means you're trying too hard to impress. Be yourself and take note if you feel at ease around the other person. How about this one? That Go ahead, Bert. I know you. I can see it.
That's kind of like you're trying to get with somebody. It's like it's a deeper relationship. You got to do this to do that. But I mean, I just cause you got to have something in common, and it shouldn't feel if you really with somebody that you want them to be your friend, you should be able to. It shouldn't be no awkward moments. It should be almost like I don't want to use family because I know a family dynamic can be a little situational, but it should be something where it's just easy. It's like breathing. You should be able to have a conversation with that person, and y'all should be able to at least be on the same level. Even if you have different viewpoints, you can still kind of bring some things and tie some things up, and it's not a big deal, and nobody's being emotional about it. It just feels like there's somebody that you can really rely on and
Right.
kind of understand where you're coming from and vice versa.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sis, what do you say about this one in terms of evaluating, people about whether is it easy or difficult to connect when you're around them?
Well, if I have any type of difficulties connecting with someone, they couldn't be my friend because a friend, we have that type of connection with each other. That both are comfortable. Pretty much anytime we see each other. If I'm calling you my friend,
Gotcha.
I'm saying, and I didn't get to answer Tasha's question. Tasha, I got a 3 strike you out rule.
Okay.
After I'm about the 3rd time and I done called you and I'm seeing how you're doing and I notice you ain't calling me back after the 3rd time, then fuck you too. And I ain't calling you no more.
I feel you. I feel you. And I know she's telling the truth because me being me, I said to her on a couple of kids, why don't you? And Sherry was like, no, fuck them. Fuck them. And then these are some people who are viewers, but okay.
See, you always trying to save somebody.
I was
doing the right thing.
Sherry was like, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? So Tasha, before you answer this one about difficulty connected together, I know you don't have a lot of people in your home. What about though putting yourself in situations where there's personality conflicts where you have to feel awkward? What do you think about this?
Something, when I was younger, I would definitely say like in my 20s, this feeling of being around like somebody who's supposed to be your friend and how anxious I would get around some people, I didn't know what it was. Now I know it's just, my spirit is fighting them for whatever it is. Now,
Right.
But being around people like with the clashing personalities and things, I have learned so well to just kind of, I'm there. I've learned to just add enough to like the conversation, but I'm gonna sit back and just be quiet.
Okay.
I think in this sense, I think I'm an easy person to talk to. I'm a very good listener, and I've learned how to ask questions in a way and to mold them to get people to just open up, and they just go and go and go and go.
Right.
And I can add just a little bit, and it'll keep them going.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I like that, but I want to pay you a compliment because one of the things I've always liked about Tasha is she's good at that, true. But then there's the other side that if she truly is, it feels a discomfort, not just an awkwardness. Tasha don't even fuck with him. She won't go. She won't put herself in that situation. And once again, I have put myself in situations where, I've had events where Tasha can vouch for this, where it's been my birthday party. And I have catered to 3 different factions because of the awkwardness and me trying to cater to the personality traits that was around me. And so I've had to learn how unhealthy that really was, because when you with somebody, it shouldn't be awkward. Even if your personalities are different, the truth of the matter is, I know that I am what how do you say an acquired taste? You know, I know that about me. I'm real friendly, talkative, but I also have my own weird sense of humor. You know, I have diarrhea of the mouth, and I'm not politically correct. You know, so I can say some shit that probably get. I love R. Kelly. I don't give a fuck what you think about R. Kelly because I love him. I've had to put bitches out of my house who didn't like that R. Kelly came on. Bitches, this is my place, and R. Kelly's going to play.
Forgot about her.
You know, yeah, you funky, nasty, no good bitch. I put you up out of here. Then I put your stinking ass up out of here again because this my place, and R. Kelly is going to play. Fuck you, you know, and your stinking pussy. But okay, I digress. Anyway, I have had to learn that that's the thing. If it's awkward and I gotta force it, I have to let it go. It's not necessary. You know, we don't have to agree on every little thing, but I shouldn't have to force it and, you know, to feel. So again, I pride myself on being able to fit in just about any situation. I'm a New Yorker.
You're too inclusive. You're too inclusive.
Tasha said too
It
inclusive.
is annoying because sometimes I've just had to sit there and he's just like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's not okay. I don't want to be here now.
This is real, y'all. And that's why I got to find that balance. And this is why this is my best friend, because she's going to tell me the flat honest truth about shit. So it's telling you I got shit to work on, you know, because she said I'm too inclusive. And I was just about to say, I pride myself on being able to pretty much fit in with anybody, you know, gay, straight, whatever. I can, you know, but Tasha said I'm too inclusive. You giving me some shit to think about, Mick Mac. You really are.
So you always got to be in the mix, Black?
Man, you know what? I try to be the glue. Bert, do you know how it is when you try to be the glue to hold some shit together, even when you know everybody in that environment don't fuck with each other, but you're trying to make sure that everybody's okay. And Tasha's right. That's just too much unnecessary work.
That's a lot. Because you're trying to tease everybody. That's not even your job. I mean, that's good that you have a mindset to be that way, but that's not your job.
You're right. You're right.
And he can miss out like on enjoying, you know, like he was talking about the birthday thing.
Right.
You're missing out on your party and you trying to go from table to table like you a butler. No.
She's 100% right. She's 1,000% right. And that's time I can never get back.
Yeah.
So I'm growing, folks. I'm growing, I'm learning. Let's go to number 3, which I think is a big one. Can you trust them completely?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. You know when you have it and when you don't. Does the person keep your secrets to themselves? Can you depend on them when you need them, to trust them to follow through? If the answer is yes, then keep them close. If not, then it's time to let that friendship go and move on. Trust is just too important.
This one right here, I haven't even heard the other ones, but this one right here is so far is the most important one for me. Can I trust you completely? Let me just be very clear. I don't think that I can trust anyone 100% completely except for God. That's it. No person will I or can I trust completely. But can I depend on you? Do you keep your word? Do you do what you say you're going to do?
I know that's big.
Are you there when you say you're going to be there?
That's big with you.
That's a big one for me, and that's why for me, I do my best to always keep my word to someone. Always.
That I know with Tasha, that's a big one right there. If Hannah says trust is truly important, it's the most important.
Yeah.
Wow, you know. Bird or Sherry, what y'all want to say on this one?
Listen, it's hard for me to trust. And a lot of times, there's certain things my brothers don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just, it's very difficult for me because I can be a gatekeeper. Anything you tell me, it will stay here and it'll go to the grave with me. But for some reason, I just feel like a lot of times I can't reciprocate that and give that back to somebody, or feel like I can ultimately trust. Like I feel like something's coming around the corner, or like you're gonna hold this one over my head, where you can tell me anything. And listen, I'm not. It's judgment free zone. I'll give you my opinion about something and tell you something, but other than that, it stays with me. It stays right between us two, and it's
Right.
not going any further. So I really have some difficulty with that, and
Right.
even Hannah will tell you, like, there's certain things I will blur out and say because I trust her ultimately.
Right.
But it's just like, she's like, oh, you never told me that. And I was just like, I hadn't. I was like, I swore I did. But I more like I probably didn't. I thought I did, but I probably
Right.
didn't, because I just hold so much.
Right.
And that's just something that's very near and dear. And trust is everything, man. It's everything. If I can't trust you, I really can't fuck with you.
Oh, I want to add to this very quickly. With relationships, and this is a big one for me, if I tell you something and you're in a relationship, married or not, I'm telling you. I'm not telling your spouse. It's not a group activity. I just
Right?
want to tell you. So don't be in the midst of like pillow talk and then it gets brought up like in an awkward way. And I'm gonna do the same for you. I'm not gonna tell if you tell me not to tell.
Let me tell you how huge that is, though.
I'm
Because
glad you said that.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna tell you how huge that is, because some people, McMack, they feel like that's my spouse, that's my significant other, and if you don't want them to know, you shouldn't tell me.
My parents, that's why I stopped telling. Look, y'all wonder why I don't tell y'all nothing? Because y'all tell each other. Dad, if I tell you not to tell nobody, don't, that includes your wife. Mom, if I tell you not to tell
That's what
nobody,
I'm telling
that
you.
includes your husband.
That one is that's tricky right there. What's going on? Real talk, real time talk 101. Happy New Year and good to see you, my brother.
I'll tell you who's really good at that. Hannah's great at that, because sometimes she'll get off the phone and I'll see her face like, "What's going on?" She was like, "I'm like, never mind. I don't even want to know." Because
So I'm gonna tell you what I like about you, though.
She
Right.
wouldn't even. She ain't telling you shit.
But I'm gonna tell you what I like. What you just did, though. You didn't press her.
No, because
You
I'm the
didn't press
same way.
her.
Because somebody tell me something, I'm not going to blurt it back.
See, some people would have been like, "Oh, you got to tell me. I'm your husband. What's going on, Candace from the Candy side?" She says she agrees with you, Tasha.
Yes, it's a secret. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something you really don't want to hear. Okay.
Hannah said, "Hell no, I don't
seen
share
people
what
do that
told
when
to
they
me,
tell their
even with the
spouse.
spouse." Sis, what do you think about trust?
Yeah, trust is a big one, like everybody's saying. If I can't trust you, I can't fuck with you. Pretty much me.
No.
I'm more cut and dry.
Once again, so Tasha, since you said this is of all the most important of all,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you where I'm at with this one. Hannah says, when it comes to me, it stops with me. I love that. Now, Tasha, you can vouch for this. And this is not easy to say when it comes to trust. I've been betrayed by people I call friends. My trust has been broken by people I call friends. And I'm not talking about no trivial shit. I've given people more chances than they deserve. I have people right now that I consider friends that if I honestly sat and told this panel things they've done to me, you would ask, why do you fuck with them? Tasha knows this is true.
Cut them off.
She knows this is true.
Right?
What's crazy about that, Tasha knows this. So this one is really hard for me because Tasha said I'm too inclusive, and this is one of my faults then. I have been betrayed by people that's supposed to be friends of mine, and I have compartmentalized that and altered the friendship to where I She know Tasha Sherry knows this to where I should not fuck with you, but I do to a certain extent. But what does it say if I can't trust you all the way? If I can't turn my back without feeling like you're gonna steal some shit from me, or that's a horrible fucking feeling. Stop it, Tasha.
No, you stop it. You stop it.
I'm gonna leave that.
Yes,
I'm
don't go
gonna
no
leave that right there.
further.
But
Okay.
we supposed to be talking real, so
No.
this one I gotta really think about some shit, as I evaluate going forward, because this is a big one for me. Hannah says, I have friends I fell out with that secrets still go to the grave. If you trust me with a secret, then it stay. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. And I know where the bones are buried. But yeah, I got people in my life. I'm talking about right fucking now.
Yeah.
That if you asking me, do I trust them? The answer is no. And I'm gonna leave that right there.
I feel you, because I feel the same way here, man. Like, look.
Well, see, this is the thing. If you can't trust a person,
I hear you. I hear you.
A friend, call them a
I hear you. I hear you. So I might have to. I gotta think.
Some situations take a little bit more finesse and a little bit more maneuvering. And some things, certain ones, is not that cut and dry.
Thank you.
Even though you can say that on the surface, but sometimes it goes a little bit deeper. But I know where you're at. I know where you're at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bert.
But
Thank you, my brother.
Bert, that's why they say I'm mean, because it's cut and fucking dry for me. If I can't trust you, then
my brother. Thank you. It's yeah. This one is real, Sherry. And look. Let me move on. Let me move on.
Yes.
Because that's hard, man. Okay. Do they really listen? All of us desire to be listened to and understood at the core of who we are. It's expected for friends to turn a listening ear when you're speaking and sharing your life with them without interrupting and being dismissive. We all need to work on being intentional listeners, but if you and your friend don't listen to each other as you should, then things need to change. How valuable and important is listening? Before we answer that, what's going on, DJ? DJ said you need to reevaluate your circle.
If only you knew.
DJ is not as simple as that. It's not as simple as that, my brother. I promise you. Hannah says, agree, Sherry. If I can't trust you, I can't fuck with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna we gotta come back to that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. It's tough, y'all. Okay, what about listening? How important is whether the person listened? Because there was some cool things said in there that really hit home for me. What do you guys say?
Yeah, your friend, take a person as a friend, you will want them to listen to what you have to say and evaluate on it, because that's, they might help you through something.
I got a question as you answer this, and I'm gonna start with you, Sherry, since you went first. What does it mean to listen to somebody?
When you listen to a person, you can articulate different things that they telling you about a situation and have some solutions for it.
Okay. I want everybody to kind of get their say in there. Okay, I like where you're going with this. Tasha or Bert, how important is listening, and what does it mean to you to listen or be heard?
Let me tell you, listening, I hate to repeat myself. That's to anybody. I hate to repeat myself, and that's with small things, and even more so with big things. If I feel like if you're not listening to me, or if you're or halfway, or you come back and you say something that I'm just like, where did you even get that from? Like, did you even understand exactly what I was saying, or did you get to a point in my conversation that your brain stopped listening and then you started forming in your head what you were going to say? Listening is very big for me. So what it means to me with listening to someone, it's just listening to understand. Especially now, I'm reading your body language. I'm reading your facial cues. I'm listening to the tone of your voice. So many people, we're seeing like an uptick, and this is going to go sideways for a second. We're seeing such an uptick like in mental health awareness and suicides. It's so important to
Yep.
not only listen
Yep.
to understand what they're saying, but to understand where someone is coming from.
Yep. Yep.
So this one right here, that's a pet peeve of mine. I hate to repeat myself. That's why I got kids, because I don't like to repeat myself.
Yeah, I know
Right
that's
there.
right.
Okay. What you say, Brother Bert?
Yeah, I mean, you got two ears and one mouth for a reason. And to tell you the truth, you might miss out on certain clues or certain things that that person is actually trying to tell you. Like, if you're talking to me, I'm looking you in your eyes. I'm staying attentive, like Tosh was saying. You know, you want to make sure you're reading their body language. You know, there might be certain things that you can pick up on that you can help. Also, when you're talking about listening, maybe that's all the person wants. Maybe they don't want a response. Maybe they just need to unload a little bit. They just need you just to listen and not say a word. And if you really attentive, you'll know not to even say a word. Because sometimes they'll go ahead and they'll send off a little something where let you know that they don't really want any response. They already know what type of mind frame they're in and how they sounding. They just want to sound off real quick and just get it off their chest so they won't pop on somebody else.
I'm so glad you said that. And maybe this is a gender thing, because you went where I was going. For me, this is important because I don't need you to solve it for me most times. I'm a grown ass man and I'm okay with making a mistake. Let me make it.
Sure.
But if I'm telling you something, sometimes I'm just venting. You know, I'm telling you because I gotta share it. I need you. That's what I got Tasha and Sherry for. They know this. There was a recent situation with the clinic and everything. I'm cursing. I'm going to fuck off. I didn't need you to solve it for me. Tasha says, she said, Black, you're being kind of a dick. And I said, yeah. And I said, yeah, I know. Sherry told me the same night that Sherry, Freddie, Cherry said, that you was kind of, you kind of snapped at us and everything, blah, blah. I know, but I trust y'all enough that you wasn't going to throw me away just because I was being an ass and being a dick and I was venting. And that's a part of listening, because I don't need you to fix it all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a male thing,
Mhm.
the reason why I'm even bringing gender into it. And because Tasha, you said you don't like to repeat yourself. Let me share with you though how difficult sometimes is listening to women. Because you motherfuckers don't go down Main Street. Y'all go all around the mulberry bush sometime with your stories. Now Tasha's not really like that because she's more like a guy. Sherry, I love you. I love you. I love you. But Sherry, you're a true woman that you got to put your feelings into it and all the extra shit. Let me tell you what happened today, and Mama was upset, but see, she was eating oxtails and I got those oxtails because they was on sale and this and that. And then Juanita said, and I sometimes be like, Sherry, what did you get to? What is you talking about?
I gotta give you the
Trying
whole.
to set it up for you.
she, and so look, I hear you, but I love you because I am listening, and I know that's comical and everything, but on a serious note, yeah, listening is huge, because I need to know that I can come to you though with whatever, big or small. That for me is the thing. And you can do the same with me. I need to know if you, my friend, it doesn't always have to be a life or death situation. The silliest, dumbest shit, call me. Tell me about that. Oh, let me tell you something that happened funny. I'm there for that shit. I'm there for that. I'm there for the big shit, the important shit. And like you said, Bert, if you're going through something serious, I've said this to people all the time. I know how to shut up and just listen. And you know how, Tasha, you say you can do just enough? And those conversations, sometimes all it is, oh, sweetheart, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. And it's sometimes that's that. I hear you. I'm here I'm that wall to vent, and Tasha vents, Tasha
Yes,
vents.
I do. Yes, I do.
Tasha vents like a motherfucker,
Right.
but again, that's the nature of our friendship, because again, you can't, it can't just be all rosy conversations. You know what I'm saying? And the other part about listening is the uncomfortable things that you disagree on too. Right? Right, Tasha?
Able to have a conversation. God.
It
You
is
know.
a gender thing.
Go ahead, sister. What you saying?
It is a gender thing because y'all men, when you're trying to talk to y'all, like me talking to my brother, you be real nonchalant. You just want to blow me off when I want to tell you what happened. You want to become talking about, well, get to the point. And I just what is the point of the story? Real nonchalant. Listen to what I'm saying. I be venting.
It's probably a gender thing, sis.
I'll tell you this much from a man's point of view. And our attention spans ain't like that. Like that's why we always want to just get to the bottom line. You know what I mean? When you're doing the framework and everything like that, we're just sitting there like it sounds like the Charlie Brown teacher. It's like wong 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 wong. But then when you get to the meat of the situation, we in after that.
Now you
on with it. That's what's in our head.
Right. Now we get into what it's all about. I think it's a gender thing, sis. What's up, Antoine? How you doing? Good to see you, my brother. Oh man, so listening is important. Let's go to the next one in the interest of time. This is another important one, I think. Is our time together draining or energizing? I know
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I forgot your board to read. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want you to come on with it next. I know when I'm with a close friend and I leave feeling energized with the knowledge of time well spent, it's a strong relationship. If you constantly leave your friend feeling drained and emotionally exhausted, then it's not worth your time invested in that friendship. Drama and ridiculous behaviors shouldn't be the center of any friendship. Tasha, what you say?
Let me say this, and it may not be popular to say, and it may hurt some people's feelings. But this right here is why I'm not friends with a lot of women, because the relationships that I have had with women, as far as friendships, have been nothing but energy draining. I always felt like I was always in the middle of some mess that I definitely wasn't supposed to be in at all, but I get dragged into it because I'm trying to be a good friend. But this one right here, especially, that's with anybody, I think.
Right.
Are you a drain when people come around you? Are they tired or are they energized? Like, how does someone feel after they leave you? I know you may never know, but maybe do a follow-up call when someone leaves your house and ask them what they're doing. If they want to take a nap, you fail.
It's like a survey.
I wish some of them would, cause Lord, you know what? When that conversation is over, you are so right. If you're like, damn,
right?
You know
what's the worst? You can't even get a word in edgewise. It's just all about, and you just like, damn. Can you let me go? Can you hang up? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm guilty of this. I might be saying too much. See, I might have purposely or accidentally hit the so it can hang up. By mistake. I think my hand, because I got the fat thumb thing going on, so maybe that's what happened. But I only can take for so much. I only have the capacity to take for so much.
Right.
And if I know that this is a bunch of BS, I don't know. I'm like, I done lost you. It might be one of those types. And I did it on a couple occasions. That's bad. But man, real
No.
bullshit. If it ain't nothing like serious, I'm like, I can't do this, man.
And see, I should be more like you. I have subjected myself to the whole thing. Antoine, you're right. Energy vampires that just suck the energy out of
Suck
you.
you dry, man. It'll suck you
You
dry.
know, and my God, yeah, this one right here, draining time and or feeling energized, that impacts whether or not I reach out to a person. It really and truly does. If they took a snapshot of my phone records, by and large, there's about 2 to 3 numbers on there, on a regular basis. And that's because I work every day. And I actually have a pretty stressful job, with talking to numbskulls and shit, grown people who should know better. So when in my personal life, when I get off, like Tasha and I, we do this show because it's energizing.
Yeah.
We would not have been doing this. This is going on what, Tasha, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, 3. Well, yeah, 3 years. Yeah,
At least 3 years.
Really?
Yes, it's been that long.
Are you serious?
So when you think, yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 years at least.
Yep.
That week after week after week. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't energy. There's day I'm dealing. I think I'm coming down with the flu. You know why I'm here? I always feel energized after my show. Always. Always. When I'm getting in the shower, I be laughing about some shit that just hitting me now that I missed in the show. Your facial expression, you and your wife, when y'all be having these little side private conversations while the show be going on, that shit is funny as hell to me. Kenny's facial expressions.
Yeah.
Sherry is unpredictable. This shit, but it energizes me. And so there's people that I don't call for that reason, because I have to build up my resolve that I know is going to be draining. You know what I'm saying? Even when I call, say, how you doing? It's going to be bitching and moaning, complaining, fuckery or foolishness, and draining. And that's not what it should be.
The sky is falling. Every time you talk to some people, the sky is always falling. And I always want to ask, like, how do you deal with that level of uncertainty in your life? How are you surviving on a daily basis? Because it's too stressful to listen to. You've called me after you've had some conversations. You're like, I gotta feel better. I'm like, that just took it out of me.
And let me add to that list of people, the social media chameleons, where your fucking mode changes day to day. Early in the morning, you're on top of the world. You love your mate and everything. Few hours later, you hate everybody, and they're the worst people in the world. And by the time you get to the night, all is right again. It's hard. Look, if I got to be not knowing where you at, and this is a regular thing, that shit is draining. It's draining. DJ say, don't call me, text me. Okay, I got one for you, DJ. How about the ones, though, who can text 4 times faster than you can with fuckery and foolishness? Before you can even get your first response in, DJ, they unload the whole motherfucking story. In that instance, just call me and stop wasting my goddamn time. And so I said, so true, Tasha. So there's a lot. The energy can be sucked out of you in different ways. I got to do better, DJ. I do need to block some motherfuckers. I really do.
Yeah, you really do.
I got to do better.
And they zapping you.
Yeah. Hey, yes. I got to do better.
Do you feel like because of the person you are, that you have to be there for them? Is that what it is?
I have at times that I've gotten better, but I have at times actually felt like, I need to kind of be there for them. So yeah, I've got to do better. I've got to do better.
And that's when you need, and you know what? And that's when you need that real friend that you can lean on, so that way you can unload from all that nonsense pouring on you.
Right. But to that though, Bert, some people feel like they act like, I don't know if they feel like they act like you don't never really have problems. There's some people in how they perceive you as you got it all together with. And Tasha will appreciate this. There are people who think because we're not married, we don't have children, that we couldn't possibly have any real problems. You know what I'm saying? And it comes across, with that energy draining part of it, like not realizing. And Tasha and I talk about this all the time. It's hard making this shit look easy living alone. It's tough making this shit look easy. Keeping the lights on. Go ahead, Bert.
Hey, I wanted this for you and Tosh. Do you feel like because of the fact with no kids being around, anything else like that, do you feel like it's more of a drain with other friendships because that person might know that you just have that time?
Some, yes. For some people, not in general. Again, I show up here every week because everybody in my little close-knit family here empowers me. Y'all make me laugh. Y'all make me think. But there are relationships that you're the woo. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Uh-oh.
You're the person to call when they have time.
Oh, okay.
When they have time, because their life is more important than yours. Because they do have a family, they do have children, and you don't. And so now when I'm free and I ain't got nothing better to do, then now fuck, he couldn't possibly be doing anything. Shit, what the fuck he got to be doing? He got to.
And they'll say it. They say it. I know you ain't doing nothing. They'll say it. I know you ain't doing nothing.
So some people do have that mindset that because we make it look easy and because we don't complain. If you say, I started this show, how you doing? If I really was going to tell you how I'm doing, it could get depressing in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? When I get up every morning, I have to. There's a pee bucket next to my bed that I have to pour in the motherfucking toilet.
Absolutely not. We agreed we were never going to mention that on air again. Absolutely not.
If you really want to know how I'm doing, I can tell you. But I make this shit look easy. That I'm up every day, up and able, dressed and everything. But I got shit going on, and everything. I'm uncircumcised. Your motherfucking foreskin, when it tears, it takes about 8 weeks for that shit to heal.
Please.
That's your friend.
I'm telling you, we done went down a road.
Don't ask me shit. Okay. All right. Bert, you asked. So shit. They call this real talk. If y'all want some real talk, I'll give you some real talk in this motherfucker.
If you dealing with somebody that make you feel drained like me, and I know that they ain't calling me except for some bullshit, I don't even answer.
Whew. I gotta again. I promise you. Tasha said, "Let's do this show," and I'm glad we're talking about this. I'm laughing, but I gotta do better. I've got to do better. Antoine, you're right. I've got to guard my energy at all costs because I'm the double nickel and I'm on the other side of this motherfucker. I'm closer to 6 feet under than above it. He said we all have 99 problems.
Tasha, can you get him?
Yes, sir.
Get him, Tasha,
yes,
please.
sir.
I'm telling you, Tisha's unleashed now.
We're going to speed through these last two in the interest of time.
Okay.
Do we encourage each other? So I'm going to read the last two and then we can kind of touch base on them a little bit. Do we encourage each other? Do you go out of your way to encourage your friends and vice versa? And I don't just mean when times are hard. It's so meaningful and life-giving to encourage your friends just because you want to uplift their spirits. If you know of a friend who encourages you in this way, definitely keep them around. And the last one is, are they a valuable person in your life? And this to me is the ultimate final nail in evaluating friendships. Lastly, and possibly the most central question to ask when evaluating a friendship is that person valuable to you or not? Would you be devastated to lose that person in your life? Each response, yes or no, will provide you the means for where to take that friendship in the future and whether or not it's worth investing any more energy in. Friends are one of life's most precious gifts that should be valued and treasured. Evaluating the state of your friendships ensures a healthy group of people to always surround yourself with. And so those two right
Mhm.
there, do they encourage you? Do you encourage each other? Because that should be a two-way street. And at the end of the day, is that person valuable? Would you miss them? Would you miss them in your life?
I think
Thank you, Antoine. I'll let you anybody comment on either one of those or both.
I think are they, like as far do they encourage you? Nobody wants to be around people, and I think that sometimes it's easy to get caught up kind of in a cycle. Be around somebody who's constantly telling you you can't do it or you ain't
Mhm.
gonna make it. Like why would you say that? Why would you, like why would you burst my bubble every time? Okay, like yes, you could be realistic about it, but every time. But then also, are they a valuable person? That right there, I for me that's how I have been able to limit a lot in my life. Is the person valuable to me? Would I cry if
Right.
I never heard from them again, just suddenly out of the blue? I think to some people it may seem extreme, like a simple yes or no,
Right.
but I think that that's what it comes down to, because if they don't bring value, then they must bring bullshit, and nobody else needs any extra bullshit. So
Mhm.
that's really all it should be.
Absolutely. Antoine say, do inventory of your friends. If not poured into each other, then let them be free. Great point. Sis, what do you say? As you look at these last two, what do you encourage each other, and are they bring value to your life?
Well, yeah, if they're not encouraging me and I'm encouraging them, then you ain't my friend from the beginning. And if I wouldn't cry, then if I don't see them or nothing like that and shit, but I would miss them and I would be hurt, because
Okay.
I took them as a friend.
Okay. Okay. What you say, Brother Bert?
Um, yeah, definitely encouragement. It has to go both ways. Um, I'm always a person that I always want to see my friends win, no matter what. You know what I mean? I want to see you win, and I always want to let you know that hey, you can do anything, whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And encourage them. And you don't have to be on that level. It could be what they're doing in their everyday life. It could be what their
That's right.
family. And just keep them encouraged. But I definitely would need that in return. And it's not all the time, but you never know what I could be going through. And that's when we're talking about the listening and everything like
Right.
that. Because I might need that encouragement right back. Because I might not feel like I can do it. But if you
Right.
got somebody else in your corner saying that, yo, you can do it, don't get too down on yourself or whatever, then that's a major thing. Definitely, that's definitely needed in a friendship. And what was the other one that you were talking about?
Are they of value to your life?
You have to be in my circle. You have to be of value. And as far as like if you go, yeah, I'm going to be extremely sad because my inner circle is small. I don't trust everybody. I don't have a lot of friends, and that's by design. And
That's what's
I
up.
envy those out there that have friends. Like Hannah has a friend that she knows since she was young,
Right.
like or preteens or whatever. And I envy that because a lot of times, like you were saying, like the longevity of friendship, even as a child, things change. You have a family, you might move away, anything can happen. You just lose touch, which happened with me and one of my best friends.
Right.
He was the godfather of my children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I envy people that you could still have that one friend that you can touch base with each and every time. And it do bring that value to your life. You know what I'm saying? And for the better, makes you a better person on top of that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely. Got my so you got to bring value to the table. You got to.
I'm gonna pick up where you left off about envy. DJ, you said, man, I got rid of all bad energy. I have
Yes.
one or two I struggle with, but their days are numbered. DJ, my brother. Let me tell you, I envy something about you, DJ. Never met you in person. Come to know you through this show. But I looked at your page, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I see your pics where you hanging out with your boys and everything. That's always been a weakness of mine. I've always had female friends. It's been difficult for me to make male friends, and I think that's why I value Bert and Kenny so much, and Brenton, and Lamar, because I actually met Bert, so got to see Bert and Hannah for real. So that's why love them for real. And my goal this year is to venture out more because I want to turn what's been a virtual friendship into real friendships, connecting, visiting each other's home. And DJ, I envy that because I look at your page, man, and you get out and you social, and I want to do that. I want to be that, and that's because what's sad about these last two for me is not everybody want to see you win. Even people who profess to be your friends,
Yeah.
they're in competition with you, believe it or not. And it can be some of the most small, minute, ridiculous shit that you ever would imagine.
Yeah.
The house you live in, you know what I'm saying? The car I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that you would think that they will want to see you thrive and do better and everything, the job you get, you know. And so when I evaluate friendships, this is making me look at all of those things because I prided myself my whole life to not invest in jealousy. Jealousy is the one ugliest emotion that I never invest in.
Yeah.
And I can really sit here and tell you guys from even when I ran the streets with guy friends of mine, I didn't get the pussy. I want you to get the pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm built like that. I want you to get it to win. I'm great. I love it when you got a great home and a great job. And
Yeah.
even if you got a great woman, I'm the dude telling you, don't fuck this person over. Go home. Do her right. Blah, blah, blah. But not everybody want to see you win. And living here in Atlanta, again, I've had examples of where I tried to make male friendships and it wasn't meant to be because, it was what it was. And so, and in terms of value in your life, now this is where I'm glad that my head is stronger than my heart. I've always told people this. I can love you, but I can also walk away.
Mm.
I was in love with my wife and I ended that marriage because it was not healthy. And I still love her to this day. I thought she needed to be happier. I thought I needed to be happier. And I hope she's found that. And I love her. And I'm always love her for that. But my head prevailed over my heart. And even when it comes to friendships, I've lost friends this year. Didn't lose an inch of sleep. God bless you. In fact, when I look at it now, you actually did me a favor. I'm glad that I found out the way I did find out so you didn't cost me more. And I'm not saying this for fun, it's the truth. And I hate that the friendship ended, but if it had to be, thank you. You did me a favor. That's more food, less fuckery and foolishness. House is clean, all that good shit, you know it works in my favor. I hope you're somewhere happy and doing okay. I didn't lose any sleep though. And
Mhm.
so to Tasha's point, I'm not gonna cry over it. I've lost friendship. I got childhood friends out there that I wish I had a friendship with, but we're
Yeah.
not. It went the way it went. I don't
Yeah.
wish bad on you. I'm not sitting in my little basement rubbing my hands together wishing bad on you. You don't never cross my mind. God
Yeah.
bless you. And I hope you're doing okay. And so the small circle that you talk about, Bert, as I've gotten older, I do keep a small, tight circle around me of people that I trust, people that I check on. And so I'm going to end the show, as I said, as we said in the beginning. I got love for all, but I don't fuck with everybody. And that's okay too. So with
Wait,
that said, Sherry, go ahead.
Let me say something. I only met Tasha. I only met you one time,
Mhm.
and I thought we got along good. But
Yeah.
I'm just tell you, I'm making you be my friend because you love my brother, so I love you, and you know that because if he ain't in place, I call you, don't I?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So I
That's what's
know,
up.
I know I could count on you.
That's what's up. That's I thank you for
Mhm.
saying that, sis. I really do. DJ says, I love y'all, but facts black. But you got to give people the love you want to receive. But people are weird nowadays. Add me to your travel list, though. You know what, bro? I'm taking you up on that. And if your ass is in Atlanta, you better come by. I live in Buckhead. You got a place. Come by, crash, stay. You're welcome. I can tell you good
No.
people. You are
You two
absolute
need a chaperone. You two cannot be. You two will
What?
need a chaperone. No.
DJ. If you in
Oh
Atlanta,
no.
holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Antoine says same here in North Carolina. So now I know two people in North Carolina. So I am grateful for this show for that reason, though. It's because not all at social media is used for fuckery and foolishness. You
Yeah.
know, this show has been a true blessing to me, you know, because it has opened doors for me to actually find what I consider good, true friends, people I love, people that energize me, I enjoy seeing. And that's why I say again, after I end each show, I'm always in a much better headspace. I'm relaxed right now, having seen you guys. Kenny, I miss you.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, D, we've been missing you. Jenny
Okay.
from the block, we've been missing you.
Yeah.
Your just cause you haven't been here a long time, baby, the seat is still warm. There's many people that haven't been around in a while. You're part of the family.
Yeah.
Kennard, Candace, y'all are welcome anytime. You know, this is the platform, you know, where you guys are welcome. You know, we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable because that's how we get down. And Antoine, you're right. You got to teach people how to treat you. I'm getting better, my brother. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
And so even at double nickel, I'm still learning. And so as I end the show, I want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all week. Do
Yes,
what relaxes you. And as you evaluate your friendships, be honest in that assessment. And first look at yourself and see what you can do. But at the end of the day, if it ain't worth keeping and it's dragging you down, cut it off. Be good to yourselves. Keep it real out there.
sir.
Love you. Peace.
Okay, later, y'all.